Good afternoon, good evening, beautiful souls. Wherever you are in the world, I invite you to mine. Let's see. Here we go. Beautiful morning with a garden, a river, coconut trees, banana trees. I've even seen an avocado tree on my walk this morning. People already in the rice fields, bright and early. People jogging, exercising, birds twitching and singing and communicating, dogs barking, children outside, parents smiling, grandparents having breakfast. The sun rising, people out and about, starting their days. Thank you for your attention here, for your energy that is valuable, precious. As I've mentioned before, you can listen. You don't need to listen. You might understand everything now. You might not ever understand everything now. And that's okay, because we're all on our own individual journey, on our own path through this experiment we call human life on Gaia. Oh, I'm happy that I woke up with thoughts and the feelings in my body that I had, even though they were not of comfort. Yet, my day started with less comfort and is turning out to be with more comfort without there being if my day started with less comfort and now it's turning out to be with more comfort, I'm happy for that, yes. Because I'm enjoying the moment as it comes and goes. Doesn't mean that this moment's going to last and continue out throughout my day. I do set the intention, though, that I allow my mind, body, and spirit to be open to receive the beauty that is inside of me and to take it in with awareness and allow me to see it in my physical world. Yesterday, not that I want to talk too much about the past, but just to give you a glimpse, was complete opposite of what I'm feeling now. Well, I was still at a balanced place, but a very directionless place. Didn't know what to do, didn't know where to go, and I just sat next to the side of the road with my belongings. People passed me by on their mopeds and looking and wondering, what is this Western tourist sitting on the road here for? Doesn't she have it all? But I didn't feel like it was uncomfortable. I just needed a I need to sit in the shade with, I mean, my bag is pretty heavy. I mean, every time I check into a place and I feel like I want to receive help, but I know that my bag is like 20 kilos or 25 kilos, so it's pretty heavy, and I don't want anybody to get injured by that if they're not expecting such a heavy bag. I mean, I say it every time, it's pretty heavy, and then they're like, oh, it is heavy, like, oh, you must be really strong. And yes, I am very strong. Today I would like to focus on deepening my practice with being in the moment, and I do this every day. And something that we do every day ends up becoming a routine, and then it becomes rigid, and the initial energy behind it might have got lost along the way. So it's always a nice reminder to check in with your habits and your routines that you have in place and see if they're still serving you. And if they're not, it's okay to reinvent those routines, get rid of routines, make new routines, habits, because not everything is meant to be taken with you into the next chapter of your life, which I've been in the process of releasing many things and people and places, and not that I don't feel that they can't return, they just return in a new state, new form, a new way of being, a new, if that's to be, and if that's chosen, if we're talking about humans, if that's chosen from that human. I know though that I can't go back, and when I mean I can't go back is I can't go back to a version of me that I once was, because that version of me that I once was doesn't exist today. Moments. Again, so many thoughts, yet I know that I need to not bombard you with so much information at once, because your body, your soul is not ready to digest everything at once. I just get super passionate, I get super excited to share everything with all of you, because truly we're in this journey together, and truly I want everyone to experience what I'm experiencing, if they choose to open their hearts and open their minds and open their body to receiving that. Because the world truly is beautiful, and I know that I'm sitting here in a very tranquil place, but I didn't see it yesterday. I didn't view this place as me being grateful for being here yesterday. Like, yesterday was like detached. I was not in the present moment. I was not connected to my roots, I'll say. And sometimes that's not a bad thing, because we go through these things that make us feel uncomfortable, make us feel lost, make us question things, and that is exactly where we need to be. That's exactly where I needed to be yesterday, because maybe if I hadn't had that experience, then I wouldn't have had the experience that I have now. So even with hardships and as daunting or as challenging or as conflicting and annoying it can be, there's a other side to it that we can learn from if we choose to. Like, the energy that I had yesterday, throughout most of the day yesterday, I could have taken that and carried it into my day, into my morning today. And it could have continued on the next day, and that could have turned into a week, and that could have turned into months if I had kept replaying my state of being that I was in yesterday. And this is why I say that you can change your moments if you choose to do so. You don't need to. No one's saying that you must or anything like that, but we have free will in deciding on how we want to be, how we want to experience life, how we want to experience a moment, a day, an adventure. It's all up to us of how we see it. It's that simple. And I am so thankful for all the people, all the beings that have crossed my path on this journey we call life. Because there were definitely many beautiful moments that I've had with people, like even those that I might not have contact to now, like, and I can sit here and wish that things would be different. I know, though, at the same time that it's not up to me for this person to come along. If that person decides to learn their lessons and break their cycles, then yeah, that person will be on the journey side by side. And this goes for everyone, like, and this is a hard truth that I had to accept because of how I see the world in the future and how I even see it now, because not everybody sees it that way. Not everybody sees the same truth as me. Not everyone sees the same vision as me. And like, I feel it in my cells. I see it in my cells, and not everybody's going to grasp that concept, and I understand that, and it's not that you need to, and don't get frustrated if you don't, because one day you will. Just like how a first grader is not going to understand the meaning of pi, or maybe a first grader will, depending on where they're at on their path. It's not a linear process, this life. Cycles, twists and turns and ladders and stairs and mountains and slides and hills and drifting and loss and confusion and repeating patterns and zigzaggedy zig. It's not linear, and we've tried to create a linear process in this experience we call life. We tried to make things bend and adapt to that, and I mean, that's something that we created. It's something that we created, and we did a very brilliant job of doing that, because it's a pretty strong system, a pretty strong confined program. Very, very strong.
That's why it's so hard to break it. And yet it's simple at the same time. Just that quote on its own has many layers like an onion to understand and unravel. But we won't spend that time today or the moment to unravel that concept today. Moments. Moments are beautiful and wise. They come in all shape and size, both unrecognized and disguised. But when one sees the truth that lies inside of thee, one becomes free. And that's all that it takes for all to crumble and break and create new within you, shining out to the outside to see all that you are, all that you can be. Beautiful. I didn't write that down, but it's recorded, so this was a live poem exchange. The sun is quite hot, but I'm enjoying the rays. As the sun gets hotter over these days, let's praise over all that exists. Because life is beautiful, mysterious in its untold mist, yet to be discovered by you and me. And we think we need to go outside to see, but we already have everything we need. Just look inside, listen, pause, and all should be revealed and be. Moments. Let's all cherish the moments that we have, because we don't know when that will be the last. Our higher selves are telling us, wait, don't speed up. And our younger children are saying, our inner children are saying, I can't keep up. Now knows what to do. Listening to your higher self, bonding to your inner child, not leaving him or her behind or they behind, creating that balance. And that is you. That is your human form. That is your human experience, is creating that balance. Creating the bridge between the high and low. Then you'll know which way to go. It's not always clear. We might have millions of questions along the way because we dare to make a mistake. But in the mistakes is when things unravel and become clear, because really what we perceive as a mistake is actually painting the way And for that, we should be thankful each and every moment of the day. Oh, man. Oh, this is so beautiful. I'm so happy that I'm sharing this with you, because if I can do this, then so can you. I don't have many items. I don't have a lot of financial abundance yet. But what I have is far greater than money. It's more valuable than money. We, a fraction of society, have created this mindset that money is what we need to get far in life. Money is what we need to feel safe in life. Money is what we need to feel security in life. Money is what we need to survive in life. I just passed a whole row of all kinds of fruit trees. No one's standing there asking for my money. The only thing that's preventing me from that fruitful tree entering inside of my temple is me. Not every place is fortunate to have such bounty, but it exists everywhere in the world, actually. You just have to go looking for it. And your inner child and your higher self will know where to go. It will guide you. They will guide you. You will guide yourself. With the help of God, the universe, energy, which is all you. Moments. I have created multiple things how to embrace the moment for myself on this journey, in this path. And like I said, it's not that it always existed. My experience here is what led me to finally find a mastery of doing that. And I guess I try not to use that term too much, because I don't... The word or the term mastery, meaning that one has perfected a skill. And we tend to think that mastery means that there's no, like, everything's perfect. The word perfect is something that we need to release from our category here, or from our vocabulary, really. Because, I mean, there's perfectly imperfection and perfect. Imperfection, yeah. Masters are not robots. Mastery is not created by machinery. Mastery is a human developed ability with the assistance of a higher power, a higher energy, creator, however you wish to name it, and your inner child in combination to achieve a skill based off of embodiment, experience, knowing, seeing, feeling, all the senses, to say that this is a mastery. Does not mean, though, that during that process that things take a twist and turn, circle and loops, because they do. And mastery doesn't mean that there can't be things that take detours, because they can, because it also leads to another door, to another deepening of that mastery. So I don't think that there's an end to it. I know there's no end to it. There's so many teachings from so many beings that we look up to from over the cross of humanity and this human experience that have brought in different teachings, have brought in different wisdom, have brought in different paths, have brought in different concepts, dogmas, whatever. There's no one way. There's no one path. There's no right. There's no wrong. It's all up to you. It's all up into what you perceive to be true for you. Moments. For a while, for a good few years, I developed the skill of, or finding a mastery path on living this life with balance, with happiness, with abundance of time, feeling pretty good most of my moments, pretty happy most of my moments, feeling joy most of my moments, experiencing beauty most of my life, actually. And no, my life isn't perfect. My life wasn't perfect. Some who have been in my presence would say that I'm an emotional, or have experienced an emotional roller coaster ride with me and never know what's going to happen because I'm up for a surprise every time. Yeah. You never know what you have in store with me, but I guarantee that you won't be bored and you'll find yourself and have fun with the process and learn and grow. And doesn't mean that, it's okay if you don't continue what you take on your path once you're in my presence. That's totally up to you. Welcome. Thank you for joining. And please feel free to, take a break from watching me. And the video will be uploaded, so you can always pause it and watch it later. That's totally fine. But I appreciate you being here today. Let me just settle this electronic device in the way so it doesn't fall. There you go. Okay, there you go. Moments. Yeah, so the mastery here of really the quote, live in the now, live in the moment, is something that we like to throw around out in the universe, and it's definitely good because that's truly what we need to do. And that quote, like everything else in life, has different layers like an onion. And depending on where you're at on your journey, you will understand and know that quote from where your consciousness is. And again, I'll emphasize that it's not that you're behind, it's not that you're ahead, it's not that you need to understand the whole thing in order to understand me, because I do break it down to different layers where most are going to be able to understand, because I have been in different layers from the beginning to the end, and that multiple times, because I've been here multiple times. That even this process is a new process for me in this lifetime. So I, like you, am also learning things as well. And it's fun to learn. It's fun to learn and to see how things develop and unfold, because it wouldn't be as enjoyable if you knew how everything was going to go already, right? Like, if you buy a book and you already have all the content in your system, why buy the book? Wouldn't you be more excited to read something that you don't know yet? Yeah. And that's life. And it's okay to go back and revisit the same book that you've read over and over again, because you would be coming back with a new perspective, taking something new from it, because you have also grown and evolved and have learned different things, different perspectives, and the same content that you might be revisiting might have a completely different effect and a different meaning and a different value to you in that moment in time. I can say that when I first practiced yoga, and like my whole being and my whole self was like, yeah, yoga should definitely be something that works for me. And yeah, but my first yoga class was in a gym, actually, so it didn't have quite the yoga flow atmosphere, but and it was also not the type of yoga that, like, no, I just was not in a place that was ready for that. My body could not sit still in poses for a very long time, because prior to that, I had been going to the gym since I was 16 and, like, you know, working out like everyone. You know, you have a goal, you know, pump it up, pump it up, pump it up, pump it up. Gotta get those muscles, get those abs, get those glutes working, you know. So it was always fast-paced, and the music fast-paced, and my heart rhythm fast-paced. Everything was so fast. And then I go too fast to trying to go too slow instantly. And I did not feel comfortable at all with that. My body just like, oh man, how is this that this is not working for me? Because this is exactly what I'm interested in and everything. And so I left the class feeling a bit discouraged, because I thought that I was going to enjoy yoga. I thought that yoga was for me, that was my path, and then I discovered it's not. And then after I graduated, I mean, I still did incorporate some yoga poses at home, but just did it on my terms. And then, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago then, after I graduated, so I revisited another yoga class, different yoga teaching, and that worked very well. Like, I was kind of like, okay, from my past experience, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna just try it, because maybe it's just a different type that suits me better than the one that I tried back in college. And sure enough, that was it. And then also in combination with where I was at, what things that I was going through in my body that aligned that to be a match too, because we tend to give up on things when we run into resistance, thinking, oh, okay, if this is happening to me now, this is not meant for me. And this is something that is widely spoken throughout the community of reaching higher levels of consciousness, reaching higher vibrations. And that's a misconception, because it's not that something is necessarily, depending on where you're at, is not for you. You might not have embodied that energy yet. So certain cycles need to close out, need to be lived, need to be explored, need to be understood, need to be applied, and then you can come back to something once that has been integrated into your system. And you can give it another try, maybe different form, maybe different music, maybe different environment, maybe different instructor, maybe it's just you, and see how it goes. Sometimes you might still feel the resistance. Don't take that as something that's working against you, because it's actually working for you, because we have not been used to that exposure of energy. We have not been used to that environment, because our previous self that we knew and have been holding on to for such a long time has been guarded, has been preventing that from happening. And where you can experience something that is more at balance, more at peace, regulating your nervous system. This is why there's so many different techniques on regulating your nervous system, and we think that, like in my experience, I've known people where I would recommend certain techniques to try out and everything, from the past now, and some would say that, oh, this isn't quite, like, I can't meditate, my mind is not staying still, like I can't sit there still and everything like that. So many thoughts are racing and I can't not think anything. And meditation on its own can be talked about in another video, but it's okay. There might just be another form of it. There might just be, like, meditation can be practiced in so many different ways. It's not necessarily that you need to sit in this ideal pose that we've painted to be, cross-legged for hours and no music and no thoughts the whole time. Like, that's an image that I'm trying to bring more truth to, because it's not meditation. That is not meditation. It looks, that's the image that we've painted meditation to look like. Meditation can be simple. Get into a flow state. What is your flow state? It might be washing dishes for some. It might be swimming for some. It might be dancing for some. It might be singing for some. Walking meditation, laying down. There's so many different avenues to explore, and I'm learning more and more as I go through life too. And it's not that you don't think or you're not supposed to think. You are aware of your thoughts. You are aware that there's a pattern happening and, like, why it is that you're thinking what you're thinking, and learning to let those thoughts go over time. It might take a couple of times, to get to that state, and then you get to another phase in meditation where, okay, now we can take it another level because I've learned how to let go of my thoughts. Now connecting. It all breaks down into steps, and like most people will, like, when they hear meditation, it's like, okay, I need to sit still, no thoughts, done. How do I do that? I can't do that. I'm like, and that then alone creates even more frustration within your body and your mind and your spirit, and then that's where then the internal dialogue starts, where you then start criticizing and shaming and like, why is it that they can do that? It looks so easy for them, but I can't do this. And then the negative talk comes into play, and then that gets cycled into your mind. And breathe. And I can walk you through this. Like I said, it's even people that are in the health and wellness industry, even people who have been practicing this for many years, even people who say that they're gurus and masters and teachers, they might not understand the full concept yet because they have themselves have not experienced it. It's one thing to teach something that you've experienced and embodied in this lifetime versus teaching. And there's nothing wrong. This is not saying that there's something wrong with this person or anything like that, or they're not speaking their full truth, or they don't know what they're talking about or teaching about, because they've learned the material. They are certified to then teach. And this is where I say that, certifications don't really mean anything, because it doesn't matter if you have a piece of paper in your hand. That doesn't mean that you know. Doesn't mean that you see. Doesn't mean that you embody. It doesn't mean that you've experienced. And the greatest teacher in life is yourself and this experience. So and like I said, I was once there too. I had to go through the same experience too. I thought that I needed certifications and I needed this booklet and this, all this material outside of me. And yes, it's helpful. It's definitely, I definitely have gathered a lot of wisdom and knowledge and useful tools for sure. I'm not disregarding that, because we should use the resources that we have in this world too, in combination with the experience. Moments. I'm in the process of trying to create a more cohesive content for you. So yes, I'm trying something new out here. I hope you're enjoying the journey with me. Like I said, this was not planned. I'm in the moment. I'm just going with the flow of things and feeling what I'm feeling here. Moments, okay, which is our topic. Our topic is actually moments, and it's totally fine to drift off, just like in meditation, and just come back to your focus, your alignment, which I am in alignment. I've been in alignment. This has been such a lightweight, feathery, heartfelt, warm, appreciative energy exchange. And I don't talk about my energy on my own. I'm talking about the energy that I'm feeling from you. And I have one person with me on this live watch, and I can feel your energy, and I can also feel the energy that is inviting into this video later on when you watch this. And it's such a beautiful exchange, beautiful community, yeah. It feels so good. So thank you for exchanging and welcoming. Moments. Appreciate all of the moments that you have, because you don't know where your next moment's going to take you, where your next moment's going to be, what you're going to feel, what you're going to experience. And I definitely have taken
many things over my life for granted, for sure. And then over years of like practicing and being more disciplined in that subject of like grasping or understanding being in the now, being in the present, like learning and unfolding as I grow. Yes, for every single being, for every single level that you currently are at in your life, on your path, on your journey, doesn't mean that this is only exclusively to people that are on a spiritual journey. It's not exclusively to people that believe in one religion specifically. It can also be for those who don't have a belief system and are looking for ways to improve their lives on the consciousness that they're currently at. Yeah. So that's the community that I'm working on. That's the community that I'm passionate about. And, you know, for a brief period of time, I was kind of concerned that I didn't feel so connected to it. And it's because of the experience that I was going through, you know, because like I said, things aren't linear, and there's going to be moments in time where things come and go, and you feel differently towards certain things and feel differently towards different things. And we think that, oh, okay, well, now that it's not like this, then it's gone and it won't come back. Trust. Trust in your higher self, in the creator and energy, in the universe, and God, Allah, Buddha. There's more to trust in than I just named. But most of all, trust yourself. Trust yourself that you can do this. Trust yourself that you can master, you can overcome any situation that you put yourself in. And I don't say that because I fully embody that way of living. I say that though because I know that you can, because I know that I can. We just tend to forget sometimes. And it's just nice to have a nice reminder. Because you've made it so far, right? Things that you've gone through, you didn't think that you were going to be able to survive or handle, or, you know, you're done with all this. And then somehow you find that energy, that little bit of energy that brought a big spark, like it gave you that what you were looking for in order to be where you are today. So acknowledge the moments that got you to where you are now, because without all that experience that you had, without, you know, feeling things that you don't necessarily want to feel all the time, be thankful for that, because those are moments that were supporting you and they weren't working against you. I understand that it's so easy to look outward and see that, you know, nothing is for me. This world was not created for me, and I understand how that feeling feels, because I feel like I don't, for a long time, like I don't belong here. I'm not from this planet. I don't belong here. I don't know how the hell these people can live the way that they're living. Like it's a disaster. It's chaotic. Where's the love? I need the love. But I know there's love. But my where I was at that moment in time, I didn't see it that way. I couldn't take it in that way, because I thought that the world was against me, when the world is for me, like it is for you. The world was created for all to experience and have beauty and peace and love and all the other things in between. It wasn't just created for one. On another level, though, we are one. Okay. Moments. Feel as you wish to take pauses in the middle too, because this will also be something, this is a tool actually that you can apply. I like to demonstrate some of the things that I teach or coach and do in these videos too, so you can either take it and try it for yourself and see if it works for you or not. Of course, the in-depth instructions will come in a one-on-one situation. Yes, but the knowledge, the wisdom, the experience that I have is not for mine to keep. It's for all to enjoy. It's not just mine. It belongs to all of us, and we have all this wisdom inside of us already. It's just a matter of tapping into that. How are you, little one? Feeling good. All right, cool. Nice. Man, there's just been so many moments where I didn't pay attention to my inner child, and I'm in the process of learning that. So you're actually seeing this in live motion, where I'm going through one of my lessons. I mean, actually there's many lessons that have been displayed here during my live session here that I'm going through or learning on another level. And connecting with your inner child is one that, like, I'm at the beginning of that, I would say. I wouldn't say like lesson or grade 1, but from the 30 lessons within a topic, I'm at the beginning of that journey. I got confirmation that I'm not as at the beginning as I thought. See, this is the difference between the ego, mind, thinking, because what I'm thinking is that because now I've been more aware of it, I must start at the beginning. I'm at the beginning part of it when my higher self and my inner child is communicating something different with me right now. So it's nice to get confirmation, which I appreciate the confirmation. Thank you. So yeah, that's nice. Cool. Moments. Don't take the moments for granted. Experience the moments how they come. Feel into them. Also very important. Not every moment needs to be filled with something to do. Not every moment needs to be filled with thought. Not every moment needs to be filled with action. Because, okay, let's do one in-depth red string, one concept here. Okay, we'll go into a deep dive here. So, enjoy the journey. Gaia, the beginning of times, when humans had not existed, when animals, first plants and minerals, or not necessarily in that order, but you get the concept. So the beginning of times, and then everything had been introduced, over time, and expanded and grew. So in the time period, or in the era where humans existed with dinosaurs, human species existed with dinosaurs, we can't even imagine having dinosaurs now. It's like such a faraway concept, and we go to museums and everything. But in that lifestyle, how would you think you would feel internally sharing the planet with dinosaurs, with animals that will not think about eating you or not eating you, where you had to constantly, take care of your body, take care of your safety, like in constant motion. So from the get-go, we've already had an imprint of the flight and fight safety mechanism in our flesh. And we've carried that up into today. So all of us actually have this, not just some of us. I did make a post where I said that most, or like 98% or something like that. I would correct myself on that and say that we all have this instinct of needing to protect ourselves at all times. However, how life on Earth has evolved has allowed us to release some of that. Release putting the guard down for some. I'm not saying for all, because not every country is in a place where there is guaranteed resources, or as developed, or the environment, the situation that one finds themselves to be in. However, how things have evolved over time has created a lifestyle where the need for fight and flight mode can be released. Okay. Like I said, not for all. We're getting there. Like I said, the vision that I see, the future that I see, we're all there. Not just one group. So it's not that we only carry in this flight and fight mode in this lifetime. It's in our flesh. It's in our cells. It's in our mind. It's all already been programmed from the beginning. From the beginning. And now think about all that energy that has been passed down from era, generation to generation to today. That's a lot of energy over what we call time. I'm saying moments in this experience, but that have overlapped to be a very extensive amount of moments. Now imagine having to first identify how long this has been in your system, and then identify where it came from. All right, first you identify where it came from, and then how long it's in your system. That goes hand in hand. Then coming to the realization that, if you're in this lifetime, which you are, that the generation prior to you is not to blame, coming to that. then recognizing that they too have been carrying this from their past generation. And then how do we let this energy go? How do we let this energy transpire? How do we transmute this energy? How, so then you find people, resources, places, and things that will help you with that. And then finding out what works best for you, because not everything's going to work best for you, because you are an individual, unique being. Yet at the same time, we're one. And then you go on that exploration of exploring different tools, different experiences, and then you have to understand it. First you have to learn it, then you have to understand it, then you have to apply it. And then going through that cycle of repeating all that until you find something that works for you. And sometimes you're going to repeat that, and then you might give up, or you might try it years later, or you might feel stagnant, and you revisit it again. So this is life. There's not something that you start and end, for most, in one lifetime. For others, it's possible, yes. I don't want to put a limit on what you're capable of doing in one lifetime, because it is totally possible to clear out 30 lessons in a chapter in a lifetime. That's where, we look up to Jesus and Buddha and other renowned, Martin Luther King, people who have cleared out those lessons within a lifetime. I'm not saying all the lessons were cleared, but there's been at least one chapter that has been cleared out in a lifetime, and that is wow. So I'm not putting a limit on what you're capable of doing and what your purpose is, and I'm in the opposite. I'm encouraging you to find out more and question. Even the information that I'm telling you, and I keep saying this, but I can't emphasize it enough, because it's important to question things, to see if you understand. And me sharing these experiences and information, stuff like that, is going to give you confirmation on certain things that you're experiencing on your life path. And maybe you're like, oh wait, I've had that experience, and I've felt those things, and I've thought those thoughts too. So this is another person talking about the same thing. So okay, that's confirmation in a human form in front of you that what you're thinking is truth, or what you're experiencing is truth, what you're feeling is truth. And if it's not aligning with you now, it doesn't mean that you can't come back to this at another point in your life on your journey, and maybe it will make more sense then. Because a lot of content, a lot of experiences that I was in, someone was giving me all kinds of information. I've used the term download too, because that's what it feels like information is downloading into your brain. But I was in a moment with someone who had so much wisdom to share, and it just came out of his mouth, free flowing. And I didn't understand anything. I tried to keep up, and it was all over the place. It wasn't a consistent, coherent thing in the moment, but I know that it was actually in hindsight. But for me, I was not getting the concept that I had so many questions and like, but what about this? And like, I don't understand that exactly. And the only response that I got was, don't worry, you'll understand one day. And one day came, and I did. So same is for all of us. So that's why I say don't compare where you're at with somebody else, because something will come into your life, or you will call something, or you will be in an alignment with something when it's the right moment. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, in my experience, if you get too much too soon, that can be a system overload and have quite the opposite effect of reaching a higher vibration for some, if you get stuck in a situation where like it's too much, because we need bits and pieces at a time. Okay, so the deep dive, long red line thought. So yeah, tools, identifying tools, and then applying what is that you learned, and that's on repeat until you have worked that through the body, transmuted it, transformed it, released it. There's many ways to work with energy, so there's not just one way of, the what one wants to achieve during that process, though, is to allow for that energy that has been with us for eras and moments before our current lifetime, to allow to release, so we can welcome in something new that's actually in alignment with who you actually are. And that transition period is one that can be very uncomfortable because the energy is unfamiliar to your system. So you might find that's contradictory, because I say that it's in alignment with who you are, but yet you feel uncomfortable with it. Remember, it's a transition. Like everything in life that is in a transition phase is going to be uncomfortable. Your first job, becoming a parent, moving to a new country, speaking a new language, meeting new people, eating new foods, like it's all a transition. Your body, your mind, your spirit needs to adapt. It needs that transitioning time. And because we live in a human form, living a human experience, we tend to want things to happen like that. Allow it to take the moments that it needs to process it through. There's no race. We don't need to go anywhere. We don't need to be anywhere. We don't need to search for a destination, because it's in here. The concept of things need to be done at a certain time, by a certain age, is something that will not be existing in the very near future. Like, we're moving in that direction. We're moving in that direction where we're in alignment with ourselves. This information that I'm sharing in depth is not a new thing. This will be widely spoken about. This will be practiced not only just like through our interactions, but on a global scale and in multiple facets. It already has begun. Like, the shifting has already begun. It's just taking its time, and it needs, like, it's taking its time, but it's also rapidly growing at the same time, because this isn't like a new concept. This isn't a new way of being or anything like that, because this knowledge and wisdom has been like throughout generations, many decades and eras of humanity. It's just that we've lost it because we've created a reality for ourselves where we are consuming. There we go. We've switched the script to consume. And disconnect from who we are. And that's fine. There's like, I used to give it a negative connotation as well because of where I was seeing the world at the time, and now I'm appreciating it though, because having a human experience is a nice experience to have, and we should be very thankful that we have this experience, because other beings on other planets don't have this experience. This is the toughest schooling for beings to come to Earth, Gaia, because of all the distractions, because of the system that we've built, where we're not in alignment with ourselves, where we're not connected to ourselves and above and below and wherever we go, all times, all moments of the day. We designed this purposefully that way, so then we can find our way back and then also apply what it is that we're learning in this schooling system to other developments and lives on other planets and experiences there, and also preventing certain things from happening in those timelines. Okay. Feel free to give me feedback if this is too much. And I guess we can all make a decision or choice to like pause and stuff like that, but I don't want to overload the system, and that's where I sometimes have my challenges of like knowing when to stop, because I am very passionate about this and I do want the information to be shared with everyone, so you have this knowledge, and so you have this information, and you can do and take from what you want. I know though that it can be overwhelming, so when you might revisit this video, I would just recommend pausing, and just focusing on that aspect instead of the whole video. And like if you're wanting to apply something in your current life where you're at, focus on that one thing and not all the things that I've been explaining. So I guess, you can decide on your own. So if you don't want to give feedback, that's fine too. I will just continue doing what I'm doing. I am mindful. I just know though that I feel that I want to share certain things, and I know that it's longer live sessions than, like, I've had issues with uploading videos, so that's why I go live. And I actually, it's probably better, yeah. Moments, and feel free to take a deep breath anytime you feel the need to do so. So yeah, school, Gaia, we've been here, we created this experience for ourselves. And we should appreciate it. I say should. I invite you to appreciate it. There we go. It is... practice. We won't always do everything how we wish to do. Over time, when we put ourselves in situations that are tickling our fear meter, the more you do that, the more comfortable you'll be, and the less fear you're going to bring into your next journey on this life path. Moments. Moments. When we focus on moments, focus is not the right word. When we fully embrace moments, meaning you're not doing multiple things at once, your mind, body, and spirit is in one place, doing or being with one thing, can be also with oneself, and the moment can last however you wish that moment should last. It's not, a moment can be an hour, a moment can be a minute or 20 seconds, like it's undefined. It's defined by your experience. And you'll know when the moment will begin and when it will end, and when there's a new moment that's beginning. So embodying, embracing the moment fully. That takes practice. It's a skill. It's not something that comes naturally because we haven't naturally been living that lifestyle. But that is actually natural to us. Like I said, basically everything that's the opposite of what we've had is what we're trying to get back. Yeah. The opposite of what we've had. Yeah. I haven't fully thought that process through, but I'm not needing to think. I'm just going with the flow of what I'm getting here. But yeah, and once like, and that comes in stages, and be patient, be kind with yourself, be mindful with the process. It's okay to slip back. It's okay to, like, oh, I did it again. I fell into that trap again. I thought that thought again, and oh, I caught myself doing 2 things at once or 5 things at once, or it's okay. The awareness is catching yourself in that moment when you're doing it. That's already a huge accomplishment. That alone can be celebrated. I encourage you to celebrate that moment. If you've caught yourself not being fully present in the moment, like I just did. And then recalibrate. What is it that your system is communicating with you? Your inner child, your higher self, what is it that you need to do right now? It might be stepping completely away from what you were doing and do something completely different. Or it can be continuing on what you were doing before or after you recalibrate, after you've gathered yourself in that moment, and that's grounding, okay? And the more often you ground yourself, the less it will be that, or the more often you ground yourself, the more you'll be in the moment. I don't always ground myself. I've had a routine and a rigid practice of doing that, and recently I've discovered a new flow way of grounding myself, so it's also a new way of me doing it as well. And things change, like, something might have worked for a period of your lifetime for many years, and then somehow it's just not doing the same, it doesn't have the same effect or whatever, and that's where you adapt and change and reassess. It's fine. Nothing has to be set in stone. Nothing needs to be rigid. And if it works for someone, it might not work for you. So catching yourself in the moment is already a huge accomplishment, because it takes a lot of awareness, a lot of energy to recognize that that's what's happening in that moment. Because we're so used to go, go, go. And then, having that dialogue internally, finding out what the next steps are. And if something's calling you to do something completely different, that's fine. Who says that you need to finish the dishes right now? They can wait. Your house isn't going to burn down. You're not going to get fired from the job. Our egos want things to be done quickly and right away because we like things in an orderly manner. We like things structured, the ego. Well, I guess I wouldn't go that far to saying that everybody has that structure mentality, because people also thrive and are more motivated in chaos around them. Yet the brain, how it's wired, is in a structure, minus the creativity part of it and the pineal gland part of it. But even that has a structure. It's just that it might not seem that way on through the experience. So maybe that's an exercise you want to try out and see how you do. And don't give up if it, be patient. Walking, talking, writing, reading, dancing, singing, all require patience. Everything that we've done so far requires patience. So you'll be getting a two lesson in one situation. Yeah. Okay, I think moments. See, the way that I'm going with this topic makes me believe that I am creating an overview for this topic in one video. Do I need to make it a one video topic? I guess I don't. And this is where I'm checking in with my system and where my system's at. So I hope you enjoyed what I could share with you today. I appreciate your attention and your energy. I highly value it. I don't expect it. When I do get to share this energy exchange with you all, it does mean a lot to me, because this is why I'm here. And I don't have to reach the whole universe. If I just touch one heart, I've completed what I needed to do. All right, thank you so much. I love you. And breathe. Like my system's telling me right now, I definitely need to regulate my nervous system currently, because I've had an influx of activation energy, motivation energy, and many ideas simultaneously here. And it's like, okay, I know I can't do, well, it's not that I can't. I need to, process some things before going on to the next task. All right, see you next time. Bye.